partners, welcome back. Thanks for your loyalty. Coming back every time. मैं हर 2 दिन में परेशान कर रहा हूँ. Every 2 days I'm conducting a session and you people are religiously coming back. I think you have understood the pressure we have on SIPs now. Thank you. Welcome. Already people have joined. People are pouring in. Just let's wait for 2 minutes. In fact, why should we wait? We can start with my favorite session, poll.com. अभी वैसे भी आजकल कुछ तो एक नया वोटर आईडी कार्ड का काम चालू है. Okay, let's start with the polls. Guys, ready? Launching my first question. Hope you can see that. $1 million question, rupee question. If you could change just one thing in your business tomorrow, what could create the biggest impact? Imagine only one चीज, एक ऐसी चीज जो आप चेंज करना चाहते हो और कल चेंज करोगे तो सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट आपके बिजनेस पे आएगा. Get 2 more clients, increase existing clients SIP amounts, get more referrals without asking, improve client retention. Only one thing which you will do tomorrow to create a big impact on your business. Which might be that thing? If you can just change one thing in your business tomorrow, what could create the biggest impact? No. Get 2x more clients, increasing SIPs from existing clients, get more referrals. Actually, without asking, though, is a wrong thing. I think I messed up there. Get more referrals is more genuine. Improve client retention. People are joining in. Come on, guys. 50% have participated. Okay. I am ending my first poll and I am sharing the result. Straight away, 47% have said get 2x more clients will increase, create a big impact. 36% say that increasing existing clients SIP amounts will give us more impact, and 8% says get more referrals, and only 8% of the people are saying that improve client retention. I think that is also one of the major thing. Okay, that is the public's view. Second question, just launching the second question. Hope you can see what really builds wealth. Which type of client is the most valuable over the next 20 years? Okay, mathematics है. सोचना. 5,000 SIP investor aged 25, 25,000 is SIP investor aged 45, a 50 lakh lump sum investor who is investing today for the next 20 years. Guys, think wisely. The first reaction would be 5,000 SIP age 25, but this is for the next 20 years only. A 25-year-old 25,000 SIP guy at age 45 will continue the SIP for 15 years also. Don't forget that 25,000 rupees SIP 15 years and 5,000 rupees SIP for 20 years. Don't get trapped by the mathematics. Think wisely. On the other side, it is 50 lakh rupees from day one for 20 years. Imagine some funds advertise 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees invested around 20 years back, what it is now. So think carefully and answer. I'm ending the poll, sharing the result. Very truly to the business. Okay, all are equally valuable. 49% have voted for that. Immediate mathematics says 5,000 investor age 25 will continue for a very long time. 42% voted for that. 7% voted for 25,000 and 2% are voted for the lump sum investor. But don't forget the most valuable client, okay, can be anybody. We don't know. Okay, that only time will tell. But as per your mathematics also, it's correct. Let's go to the third question. Today's questions, I think, are more creative and good. If you had to start again, ये बहुत अच्छा इम्प्रेसिव क्वेश्चन है. अगर आपने आपको आपका बिजनेस पूरा नहीं था, आज से आपको एमएफडी बनना था. टुडे यू आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट योर एमएफडी business from today. Okay, if you had to rebuild your MFD business from zero today, what would you focus on first? Personal branding, building referral networks, daily prospecting discipline, AI and digital marketing. Okay, what would be the biggest thing you will focus on if you are starting your business today? New business from today, new mutual fund distribution business. Come on, guys, 50% of oh, that's great. 57% participation, 63% participation. This is one of the best. Think wisely. This is very, very important. I know one session, one speaker focused on personal branding, another focused on digital marketing, another focused on prospecting. Actually, these were all the sessions, first four, three, four sessions which we did. And poll, I'm sharing the result. Hope I'm not consuming a lot of time. 47% of people have said daily prospecting. Okay, देव बाबू ने बहुत अच्छा इम्पैक्ट छोड़ा. 26% have said पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग. ये हमारे फर्स्ट स्पीकर थे. एआई एंड डिजिटल मार्केटिंग वो मैं खुद ही हूँ. ओके, एंड 11% से बिल्डिंग रेफरल नेटवर्क्स. गुड. Fourth question, launching. No, will not miss the hidden growth opportunity. Where do you think the biggest untapped SIP opportunity exists today? ऐसा कौन सी जगह है जहां पे आपको SIP हिडन है और आपको नहीं पता? एग्जिस्टिंग क्लाइंट फैमिलीज, यंग फर्स्ट टाइम इन्वेस्टर्स, रिटायर्ड इन्वेस्टर्स, स्मॉल बिजनेस ओनर्स. Where do you think is the biggest opportunity for you in SIP today? मेरे हिसाब से तो और एक ऑप्शन डालना चाहिए था इसमें, ऑल द अबव. वो नहीं डाला. चलो लेट्स सी. वेरी गुड, 60% participated right on the bang on spot. Great to see. Okay, guys, I'm ending the poll, sharing the result. 62% people think that it's young first time investors, 26% think existing families, clients' families, 14% think small business owners, and 0% think retired investors. भाई मैंने कितने रिटायर्ड इन्वेस्टर्स लोगों से एसआईपी चालू करवाया. बहुत पेंशन आता है गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट्स वगैरह को. क्या करेंगे उतना पैसा? वो भी एसआईपी डाल देते बेटे के नाम पे, पोते के नाम पे. मे बी यू आर नॉट आस्किंग, जस्ट आस्क. The last question for polls today: the future of financial advice. 5 years from now, what will make an MFD truly successful? Trust or relationship, knowledge and expertise, technology and AI, or speed of service? This is very, very thoughtful thing. Many people are voting on trust and relationships. Knowledge and expertise is the second runner. Technology and AI is the third one. Speed of service is seven, last one. Okay. Guys, I think here the biggest acceptability by the new age customers will be speed of service. Not trust, not knowledge, not technology, because technology will be anyway by default compulsory for everybody. If you are not in the business of technology, I'm just sharing this one. This is my view. Huh? Technology and AI will be like the basics of this business in the coming 5 years. Okay, knowledge and expertise to technology के साथ. Of course, if you are not updated, nobody can help. Trust and relationship will be there, but I think speed of service will be one of the biggest bets. I don't know. I might be wrong. 41% are saying trust and relationship, 33% are saying knowledge and expertise. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your lovely participation. Okay, today we have with us Mr. Manoj Sinha. Manoj sir, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just a brief introduction of Manoj sir. Manoj sir
Yeah.
is a very good friend of us. Okay, he is the zonal head for SBI Mutual Fund for entire South India. He's an executive vice president. Manoj sir, I think you're long with SBI, right? How long it's
Yes,
now?
yes. Yeah, so it's over 2 decades.
और तो 20 साल completed. Okay, I'm just 1 year junior, मतलब 1-2 साल junior,
Okay.
19 years completed in Prudent. Sir,
Right.
before we even start this, okay, I have one question. Okay, nowadays people are getting good number of SIPs, as you see our performance and every day on day in and out, good number of SIPs are coming. But I want to address a lot of SIP stoppage is also coming with us. Okay, that is one key issue which if you can address in this session according along with your presentation, it would be
Right.
really helpful. Okay,
Right.
and one more thing is key SIPs. Some people are some distributors are facing the Gen Z crowd not investing with them and focusing more on DIY, मतलब do it yourself things.
Right.
Okay, watching
Right.
YouTube. How to address that area also is one of the
Sure.
concerns which we have been receiving continuously from the partners. Okay,
Right.
over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you all,
so
partners, for
much.
joining.
Thank you so much, Kapil ji, and all the partners, prudent partners who are here. Welcome on board, and thank you so much for this opportunity. We at SBI Mutual Fund, always value Prudent and the entire family, Prudent family, very closely. We had a very close relationship all through. And I think together we share this responsible selling, the disciplined selling, and we believe in the right selling and all that we do, and all these efforts, what we take to share our experience and grow business in a responsible way. So thank you so much for all this initiative, Kapilji, from your side. Uh, Now, I think, of course, I got to know today is the fourth session on this SIP itself consecutively. So you have been undergoing session and knowledge sharing from different people. I'm sure the kind of business focus, what as a prudent partner, all of you have, you obviously is exposed to a lot of things which are happening in the industry and how you're a quite experienced guy that way yourself. But from my perspective, I'll just share some of our the way we are looking at this business. I am in mutual fund industry for now more than 30 years, and I've seen the evolution. And in fact, when I started initially, in fact, I myself was having not much of idea about SIP. After 10 years only, I started doing it. So I lost actually the initial 10 days of wealth creation. But then this is how most of the people do. But I think we can make a difference if we bring in that kind of understanding among our clients and we are able to add more clients on that. So that's really going to help them as well, our clients. So can I share my PPT?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. So I think I need to go here, share.
आप लोग सब टीम्स वाले हो ना, तो जूम पे थोड़ी तकलीफ होती है आपको.
Yeah. Just a minute. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can put it on full screen now.
Just a minute. Is it full screen now?
Done, sir. Done. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Thank So, so let me just, so before we exactly come to the SIP, let me just share with you the few, three, four key trends in the market, basically the mutual fund industry as such, which is actually also impacting our business. And that will also give a idea like where we can focus more if we really want to expand and, of course, do more of SIPs. So just a few pointers on that. So one thing is obviously very, very clear that the money is moving from the traditional investment to the market related instruments, especially mutual funds. And here, primarily, what we are saying is, say, 10 years back, the mutual fund entire industry AUM as a percentage of banking industry was only 13%, and today it is 33%. So from 13% to 33%, and going forward, it is going to further grow to 40% and 50%. This is how the year on year things are changing. So you know that how big is going to expand. And the reason is very simple. Despite so much of a growth over 10 years, today also if I tell you, say some of the private banks like HDFC Bank, only 8 to 10% of their customers are today investing in mutual fund. And if I look at SBI, it is only 1.5%. So out of 100 customers of SBI, only one and a half customers are today investing in mutual fund. Is the maths is very simple. SBI has got a total 50 crore of customers. उसमें से if you remove that Jandhan account, it is some 30-35 crores. And in mutual fund, it is like 60-70 lakhs. So this is how big is the opportunity. And also more importantly, if you look at, say, for example, in bank, there is a CASA, current account, savings account. So current account mein you don't get any interest. In savings account, like bank will pay 2.5%, 2.7%, or maybe 3%, something like that in savings account. And CASA together is equal to mutual fund AUM. So if the mutual fund industry AUM is 80 lakh crore, the current account, savings account of banks are equal to 80 lakh crore, roughly.
Sir, you mean to say all
And
banks or only SBI?
yeah, all banks. I'm talking
Okay.
about here all banks. So all the banking industry in India is almost like 250 lakh crore. Out of that, around 80 lakh crore will be in current account, savings account. In savings account, they are only making 2.5%, 2.75% return. In mutual fund today, of course, we are talking about equity, but there are even like arbitrage fund and money market funds or liquid funds which can give you much, much better return than the savings account. And that basically shows the potential to grow and how we can increase business from each client. Because when a client is giving, say, 10 lakhs rupees in mutual fund, he will be having another 50 lakhs rupees in somewhere else. And maybe a bigger part of that could be in the bank itself. So we have to be mindful of that, and right product positioning can help in winning that part of the business in a big way. Second is a very important trend, and which Kapilji you also mentioned about the young investors today. So the figure data says that last year 40% of the new SIP accounts which opened, that was done by people who are less than the age of 35 years. So they are like youngsters who are like 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. They are constituting 40% of the new SIP accounts. So I think in the example, in the poll you were mentioning about like somebody starting 5,000 rupees SIP. Now 5,000, if he's 25 years, he can actually grow in a big way. And the trend, another trend is obviously the bigger part of these numbers are coming through robo platform, through Grow Zerodha, because this is do it yourself DIY. Now the challenge there is there are two things. Once the amount becomes start becoming bigger and it becomes more serious, then people look for advice. So when it is very small, they are very okay with Grow Zerodha, where there is I mean it's all free services are there and they do it on their own, and they get the list of what are the top performing fund. But the problem lies there that once the money starts becoming bigger, then they are not very comfortable with the kind of volatility and not no hand holding. Second thing, the way those investments are done, like for example, some time back we found that one of our fund was getting the maximum SIP, and you won't be able to guess that fund because it was SBI PSU fund. So we suddenly found why this fund is selling so much. So we saw that in those robo platform, it is ranked number one in terms of performance. But the problem is every month and every year this will keep on changing, and investor will not actually genuinely benefit from that. So here we need to, I mean, be mindful, and many times this segment we may not be actually catering in a proper way, but there is a lot of scope to add value here, and I think so. We have to look at this part because a lot of new clients are coming in that segment. Now, a third very important trend is about the women investor. So in India, like largely it has been men driven, and we have seen that in the past, most of the investments used to be influenced by men only, but now things are changing over last 10 years. Today, and the growth in investment from a women investor is much higher than growth in the men. So there are two things changing. One is that women are now getting more and more employed, they are getting more independent, and their consistency is also higher. I mean, when they are investing, it is comparatively for a longer period. So I think this is again another trend in our business. Sometimes we miss out this segment, which is getting, which is increasing at a very higher rate. And we need to look out, I mean, which all family we are connected with. We have to also engage with the women investors. I think that will really add value to our business. Now coming to, so obviously we all know about it, but just I wanted to highlight a few things here. See, the equity market has been always like this. This is the last 20 years data. Even last 40 years also you will see it has been volatile like this. But overall the long-term trend is always positive. So that only gives us the confidence and conviction that anything we are investing, either it is through SIP or through lump sum, if it is held for longer time, then you are going to make a good return. If you look at simply the data of Sensex from 1979, when the Sensex was 100, today it is over 74,000 or so, which translates into over last 40 years a return of around 15% per annum. So despite so much of a volatility in between, the long-term returns have been very robust. And it is not only the Sensex data, you will see that even in the funds also, which are there for very long term, they have been able to create good wealth. So here, this is a very famous quote by Warren Buffett. I think all of you would have heard his name. He's supposed to be the most successful investor globally. And what he basically did was that in the 50 years period in US, his fund has generated double the return of benchmark. So if S&P 500 return for 550 years was around 10%, the return of his fund was around 20%. So that is the thing what he has done, because of which he has become so famous for a very, very long period. But then this is also important that every 10 years, decade, there was a time when his fund has depreciated almost 30-35%. But then those who continued again in the next phase, they could reap it up, and overall the returns were very good. And he has said this: the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So people who are impatient, people who are, say, for example, youngsters investing through robos, they are getting very early, they get impatient. Today, in fact, we were looking at the figure of SIP. I mean, the industry can 90% of the SIP seizures are coming only from robos. So just imagine ki like there is just 1 year of flat market and your 90% of SIPs are closing. So new SIPs are also coming, but the earlier 90% is getting closed. So if you are impatient, you will never make money in something like market related instrument. And this is, I think, if this is easier said than done. I mean, we can say that you have to be patient, but when actually it comes, it is very difficult. People get jittery about it. And if we are able to, have that, win the confidence of the client and advise him to continue, I think that will be a big value addition. I hope I am audible clearly to everybody. I'm just speaking one way. I hope,
Perfect, sir. Perfect. No
yeah,
issues at all.
okay, okay, sure, thank you.
In fact, questions are coming in, and but I'm saying that I'll answer them later.
Okay, okay. So this is just quickly I wanted to share, like I mentioned about the long-term investing, how the Sensex has moved over a long term. There is a good return. And Warren Buffett has said that patient investor get money, but whether it is actually happening in mutual funds. So these are the like, because we are also a 35 years plus fund house. I mean 39 years almost. So if you look at most of the funds, the older funds have generated very good wealth over time. Just one example, if I tell you, this SBI ELSS Tax Saver Fund. So it was launched in 93. Now, 93, if somebody would have invested in PPF or NSC, at that time earlier, of course, in 93, the rates used to be very high. It used to be 12, 13%, 14%. And then it is gradually started coming down. Average return, if you take 9%. So if somebody would have invested 1 lakh rupees in 93, the value of that is currently around 15 lakhs at the rate of 9%. But same money invested in ELSS tax saver is 1.5 crore. So it is like 10 times extra the creation of capital over this period of 33 years. So that is the long-term compounding story, the value which can be added. and returns what people can get despite the interim volatility which is always there. Or something like here, if you look at SBI Contra Fund, now this is very important. What has happened in 1999? I think if some of you would maybe working during that time, if you remember, there was a IT boom. So globally, all the IT companies' stock prices were doing very good. And in India also, most of the diversified fund also used to invest majorly into IT because there was no SEBI regulation as such about categorization and all that. So that time we thought to come out with a fund which does not invest in IT, because if everything is in IT, then what will happen if IT doesn't do well? And incidentally, in 2000 itself, year 2000, there was a bust, and IT stocks fallen in a big way, 50%, 60%. And this fund has not fallen. It has given a decent return. And today, look at in the last 26 years, the average return is 18.5% per annum, and so on and so forth. I don't want to go into detail of each of the fund, but these funds have created a very good wealth over a long period of time. Now, just coming to this point, what Kapilji was mentioning about SIP, people are stopping SIP. So what happened if the market is flat? So somebody is giving us every month money for last 1 year or say 1.5 years. He is doing SIP, and at the end of it, he is finding that whatever he has given, money is probably has hardly grown, or he's it is just same amount, or maybe in some cases it's negative also. Whatever he has deposited, the value itself has come down. So there are two thought process. So one is Mr. Panic, who are basically all the robo investors, I can say. The Mr. Panic, so what he's doing is saying that there is no return coming, so let us stop the SIP. Why to give money? Instead, even bank would have given a better. So that is a normal thought process of an investor, and that is why they are stopping the investor. But there is another set of investors, and which people like us also understand, is the Mr. Optimistic. So he's saying that because market is low, you are getting more units. So if you are accumulating more units, so whenever there is a market recovery, you make much higher return because of that. So this is a two way of thinking, and I think what if we have to, if we convince investor for the second thought, which is about what we are talking about, Mr. Optimistic, I think it is very clearly a win. The investor will continue, and I'll just share you few data points on this. So look at COVID-19 in February 2020. So there was a COVID. You all know that there was a market crash. The Sensex Nifty came down by 30% in a very short span of time, and after that it started recovering. So suppose in SBI focused equity fund, there is an investor who is doing 10,000 rupees SIP. He started SIP in March 2018, and in February 2020, so which is after 2 years, his actually whatever money he has given, his actual return is minus 13% because of the market fall. So money was even lesser than what he has deposited as a SIP installments. But and if he would have just stopped the SIP or taken out the money, he has made a loss here. So nothing can be done on that. But assuming that he continues that SIP for another 3 years, which is till June 2023, his entire return has become now on the entire portfolio 14.78%. So 9.3 lakhs on 6.3 lakhs invested. So this is what the patience helps, and understanding of the market situation, that you continue and you make all that losses have got converted into a big gain. Similarly, in equity hybrid fund, same thing. SBI large and mid cap, same thing. So this is about the COVID period. Now look at, for example, next, which is the 2008 subprime crisis. So you remember in the 2007 there was a big bull market, in 2008 there was a market crash. So in August 2008, so somebody investing in March 2005, 3 years before, and after 3 years he's hardly making 1.7% return. So just imagine what will be the response of an investor, that he has already been doing SIP for 3 years and it is only 1.76%, and he will question, why should I continue? I mean, there is no return coming. I would have made better return in a bank deposit itself. I will do RD. But continuing this for another 2 years, and the return gets translated to 14.64%. So it basically a point I'm trying to highlight that the returns changes dramatically whenever there is an improvement in the market because we are accumulating more units because of the lower market, and it pays off well to SIP investor. So if we are able to explain this to an investor, I'm sure any logically minded person will continue the SIP. The problem is to reaching out, and many people are not actually able to counsel, especially those the online and the robo where we are facing this issue. But I'm sure as a responsible business partner, MFD, we can always take help of these data points and explain this to the investors. Another point I wanted to highlight is about the also managing the investors' expectations. So what happens ki like we have equity, debt, liquid. We say that equity always has given a higher return. But the problem is the experience of the investor. He look at year on year. And year on year, not every year equity do well, as we saw in the chart. So sometimes gold do well, sometimes the real estate is doing better, sometimes some other debt is doing better. So it keeps on changing. And if we have to have in that way, if the investor is very risk averse and he does not want to take volatility, the best option is to look at combination of all these assets, and that is basically reflected in something like a multi-asset allocation fund. So I think I mean wherever there is a aversion to any kind of volatility, I think SBI multi-asset allocation and category itself is a very good value addition, and where we obviously manage it very, very proactively. And if you look at the return also, and also balance advantage fund, but the return part I wanted to highlight to you is the standard deviation, which is very, very low. So even in the category also, within the category in multi-asset allocation, SBI multi-asset allocation has got the least standard deviation. And still, while the equity market has been negative in last 1 year, if you look at the return of multi-asset allocation closer to 15%, so which gives a more positive experience from that point of view. While obviously on a long-term equity will always deliver better return. Now coming to the some of the techniques on which I thought I can share my perspective with you on how we can scale up the SIP book. So one thing is there about the need selling. So what basically means is, generally speaking, we approach a customer, we talk to him, ki like whether he plans to make any investment, or we ask him ki like what he's looking for. We have so many options, different options available, but this thing is not very, very effective. So what is more effective is that we talk to him in a general way about what exactly his requirement and need. So I mean, if I ask a person like that, are you looking for investment? Instead, if we ask him about like his child, or like what is he planning for him, what kind of education we are thinking about for him, or similarly on any other requirement. So it's something which he directly relates to. So that is obviously much more effective. And and here we are able to connect with him in a much better way. And I'll just show you, share few perspective on especially two major goal-based planning. So one is on the children education and another is on the retirement, which are the two biggest place where we can get a long-term money.
Sir,
Now, yeah,
you have touched a point where we actually, I personally keep on promoting, child marriage, child
right,
education, retirement. On a
yeah,
daily basis, I try. And
right,
Prudent has got a very good platform on Fund Bazaar where we
right,
can do goals-based SIP. Okay,
okay,
for example, if it's a child education goal, he can make
mm,
that goal, and that goal he can start an SIP. Every
right,
day, whenever the client opens the portfolio, first he
mm,
sees is the goals, only the goals, and
mm,
sees how much percentage goal has been completed. So
Right,
that's a
right.
very
Okay.
beautiful technique, but
Yes.
still,
Okay.
I think so. Not even 1% partners are actually using it. So
Mm-hmm.
can you help us how much
Right, right. So,
more into this?
correct, correct. Yeah, so I will share with you few things. So, for example, if we have to really get some serious long-term money for children education, so we have to do some groundwork there. So, what is the homework or groundwork which we have to do? So one simple thing we can do is like we do some research about which are the leading institutes in various category. For example, for medical or for engineering or for arts or for any kind of the study areas of study, or for example aerospace. So which are the leading institute in India and globally? Suppose I get a what are the top 10, top 20 institute in India, and what are their fees? Similarly, which are the 10, 20 institute globally, the top best institutes, and what are their fees? So if we get this kind of basic data, which obviously can be gathered today, all these AI tools also can help. So once we are ready with that, we and whenever there is a discussion coming, so if we are perceived as somebody who knows about this higher education, who knows about some of these good institutes, which obviously we can gather through the internet and various sources, and if we connect that to the planning part, I think that could be a more effective. uh, for example, I'll show you, like look at this. Now, for a graduation or a post-graduation courses, domestic itself would be in the range of 20 lakhs, to even for medical, it may go up to 1 crore. And if somebody is aspiring that his child should go to foreign universities for postgraduate, the cost will come to 2.5 crore to 3 crore, even some of them are even higher as well. But what happens is many of the parents may not be exactly aware about this, what exactly is the fees. So suppose if he's planning ki his child has to do medical and you need at least 1 crore for medical. And so then obviously then if we ask him ki how, what is the preparation, because generally I will tell you the feedback is that most of the parents are not ready, and at the last moment when actually they get admission, they have to take loans, and it becomes more difficult that time. But if they are mentally ready, if they are aware कि, okay, if the child want to pursue, then I am also ready to fund that, and these things are shared with them. So I think that gives a much more chance of us succeeding there. And we have today a lot of options wherein we can get these investment for long term. It can create value. We have data to show that over a long period of time, 15% returns have come in. Even if you assume 12% going forward, I think we can easily plan. So once we know the corpus required after 15 years or after 20 years for this education, we can always build in what is the SIP amount required for that.
Sir, by SBI, can you make something like this, sir, in a printed format or something?
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. Uh, Whether you are saying about, the cost of
Yeah,
these courses, and
courses or what's a
yeah,
parent should plan, matlab, to do you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
analyze,
yes,
or
yes,
any
yes, yes,
calculator,
yeah, 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 yeah.
SIP calculator, anything we have for education calculator.
Right, right,
I think it
absolutely,
will
we can.
actually help us a
Mhm.
lot. Because
Yes,
ये
yes.
देख के मुझे शायद रात को नींद नहीं आएगा अभी.
Yeah. So hey, that's what actually happens, because generally people don't think so much. They just think, okay, he want to pursue medical. But actually for doing that, what kind of resources will be required? And if we are doing a back calculation and planning it for much earlier, things becomes much easier. So I think this can really help here. So this is like some of the data points, like most of the parents have not been basically prepared, which very clearly shows. And I think you can look at like 78% people are basically not properly planned. So I think if we reach out to our area of influence, I think we will find many such family there. Now look at these are like long-term returns as compared to, because normally people maybe even if they are saving, they are putting in FD or some other places. So that basically will not help them as much as what if we can get that in the market equity related instrument, which can create much higher wealth. Now here I wanted to especially highlight which actually can help you also in capturing this demand. So we have this Magnum Children Benefit Fund investment option. So this fund has been doing extremely good. In fact, it was launched in 2020, the COVID period, in the month of September, and today we are in 2026. So in 6 year time, the NAV of fund has become from 10 rupees to 50 rupees. So we are 5 times in 6 years. It has given a very high good return. Obviously, one of the advantages as a relatively a smaller size than maybe many other small cap or mid cap funds, so which actually helps in the performance. And just to share with you the SIP return of this fund. So while for all the calculation purpose we take 12%, but here to look at the actual return, Children Benefit Fund investment plan since inception, somebody would have done a 10,000 rupees SIP. So 7 lakhs invested since inception. The value is around 13.5 lakhs. Now the idea is like how we get to more long term, and fund like this also helps in children education planning, because here you have a clause. The redemption or the any outflow will necessarily go to the children account only, not to the parents account. And second thing, there is also a lock-in of 5 years so that the money is kept for the longer period.
So some
Uh,
questions have come up on this
yeah, yeah.
children's fund only. So you want to take it now or after some time?
Yeah, we can take,
Okay.
yes.
First thing, sir, is there any ban from SEBI on solution-oriented funds? No.
No. So SEBI came out with the life cycle fund. So they said that you can have only, initially they said that you can only have life cycle fund, and you
Okay.
have to stop all these solution oriented fund. But then after that, as an industry, we represented. And in response to that, the SEBI has said that you can have either of both. Either you can have a solution based fund or you can have a life cycle fund. So, as far as Children Benefit Fund is concerned, it is going to continue like this only. So,
Okay.
we are not going to make any change here.
And previously, I think some people are saying for this it can be invested in the child's name or it can be invested by the parent's PAN. How it has
No,
to be invested?
so it has to be invested in the children name,
Hmm.
but the money can go from a parent's bank account.
So this will not be
So,
considered as third party.
it won't be considered as third party. That relaxation is there. So today, parent can cut a check, and the investment will happen in the name of the child. But when it comes to the redemption, at that time the money will has to go on to the children's account only.
Okay. Okay.
So that is clear here.
I
I don't
think,
know.
is there any lock-in in this one, sir?
Yeah, so there's a 5 years lock-in
Lock-in.
or till the child attains the age of 18. So
Okay.
suppose
So,
child is already 15 years and you are
okay.
investing, then after 3 years he can take out the money.
Okay. So whichever is I no, I don't know. Not whichever.
It is 5 years or attaining the age of 18.
Okay. So
So
if
suppose
even
it's
if a child
14.
is 1 year old,
हाँ
then the money is locked in for the 17 years.
नहीं for 5 years.
But 5 years के बाद बच्चे के अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर हो
हाँ
जाएगा.
बच्चे अकाउंट में चला जाएगा.
Okay. Okay.
5 years or till the age of 18. ऐसे. My this presentation is visible.
Yeah, yes, sir, very much.
अच्छा, because in my case it got minimized. Just
So you can stop and share again, sir.
अच्छा, just a minute.
आप ऊपर देखो एक मनोज स्क्रीन करके रहेगा कपिल स्क्रीन करके रहेगा तो आप
हाँ
मनोज
हाँ
स्क्रीन पे क्लिक करोगे तो आ जाएगा नहीं तो प्रेजेंटेशन स्टॉप करके आप वापस चालू कर दो
अच्छा अच्छा. To stop just a minute.
इट स्टॉप सर
हाँ हाँ, okay, I'll just share again.
अरे सर अभी मैंने नोटिस किया, आप भी ब्लैक टी शर्ट, मैं भी ब्लैक टी शर्ट, आप भी चश्मे
मेरा
मैं
मे,
भी
मेरा
चश्मे।
मेरा एक्चुअली ब्लू है, बट वो ब्लैक दिख रहा है। Very nice. So, second, obviously, the yeah, is it coming now?
Yeah, yes, perfect.
Yeah. So, obviously, the second, the obviously very big need-based planning is for the retirement. I'm sure, like as Kapil, you said that these things are obviously being discussed at every forum, and I'm sure internally you have also you would have shared a lot of info on that. Uh, but its idea is like how we capture it more effectively, because today it's like it's not only about retirement at the age of 60. Today people are looking for early retirement, they are looking for financially becoming independent, so which basically means that uh, whatever resources you have accumulated, your monthly and annual cost of living is taken care by that itself, and it is further growing. So you reach a stage where you become financially independent, and so it means different thing for different people. And if we basically connect with the client, and obviously there's a longevity of life, and many people, obviously the data shows that most of the people have not actually seriously planned for that. Beyond the retirement, if one has to live 30, 40 years, and with the inflation being there, it is something which is not attended to very, very effectively. And here again, and there is also a change of trend. So earlier people used to think, okay, children will take care. When I'll become 60, my children will be they will be grown up and they will take care. But those things are not changing. The families are becoming more nuclear, and hence is the importance of retirement planning. I think we can really add big value to a client if we help them in having a proper retirement plan. So I'm
सर
sure,
एक
man.
एक
Yeah,
क्वेश्चन
बोलिए.
यहाँ पे है सर,
हाँ. हम्म.
डू यू रियली थिंक एनपीएस इज अ गुड ऑप्शन?
Yeah.
बिकॉज
So
आज एज अ पर्सनल मेरा भी अराउंड 13-14 हज़ार हर महीने जाता है, तो
yeah.
अपार्ट फ्रॉम फोर्स सेविंग,
Hmm.
इज इट यूजफुल? मतलब फोर्स सेविंग के हिसाब से तो आई थिंक इट इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट थिंग। ओके,
Yeah.
पैसा आने से पहले कट जाता है तो मालूम नहीं पड़ता है, बट हाउ
Yeah.
हाउ
Yeah.
इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रिटायरमेंट फंड वर्सेस एनपीएस सर?
No, so basically, NPS is a, in fact, now of late, lot of flexibility has come in NPS, and in fact, they have option even for 100% equity also, which earlier was not there. All those options. So today, I think, I mean, NPS is a very good option. It is a very low cost. Uh, Only thing is ki like comparatively the outperformance of NPS products as compared to the market, it has been more aligned to the market in a way. Uh, but in terms of flexibility, in an open-ended mutual fund, we get a much more flexibility in terms of when we want to exit, or if we want to change a fund from one fund to other fund. So those things are there. But we should definitely have some NPS. It will also have some tax advantage as well in some cases. So that obviously, so it's a good product, I will say overall, but not that 100% can be in NPS. The mutual fund also adds value in terms of flexibility, the outperformance, the potential to give much better return than the benchmark from that point of view. So, so I mean, I won't go into detail of this retirement planning. It was just idea was to highlight because this is one big area, and there are several different type of calculations already there. Somebody is saying that 20 times of the annual spending you should have as a corpus, or somebody is saying 25 times. But whatever is the number, based on the individual requirement, because everybody's background is different, their requirements are different, their aspirations are different. If somebody is aspiring to spend time in a much I mean, because generally we think that whatever is your running cost currently, after retirement, it will come down. But then some people may have aspiration which may actually go up. So one has to plan accordingly. So you get a corpus. Okay, what is the corpus required at the time of retirement? Either it is 3 crore or 4 crore, 5 crore, 10 crores, but whatever is that money for to accumulate that, what is the SIP? And here I think top up SIP can be very, very useful because normally when people start SIP, it's constant, but your income is going up. So in that case, the top up SIP can really increase and accelerate the wealth creation. And here I just wanted to highlight, for example, and these are like products good for the long-term investing. So here look at this equity hybrid fund, which is like 1995 fund. It was launched in 95. It is 70% equity, 30% debt. So it has got 30% debt. So not 100% equity, but still over last, I mean, this it is 95. So it is last 30 years period. It has generated a return of 15% per annum. So if somebody would have done 10,000 rupees SIPs, so in this period, since 95, he has deposited 36.9 lakhs. The value of that is 6.3 crores. So you can look at the kind of wealth we talk about, this long-term retirement planning and things like that. At 12% return in 30 years, your 10,000 SIP will become 3.5 crore. And here, of course, return is 15%. So you could look at it is 6 and almost 6.3 crores. And the next one, the SBI Multi-Asset Allocation Fund, which is again, uh, this is obviously not very old fund, but then 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, the returns you can see around 12.5%, 5 years is 14%, which is again very good and having a positive experience for the customer because the volatility in NAVs are very, very low. And if you look at the pure equity fund, SIPs, so focused fund was launched in 2004. So we are 22 years old now, 21 and a half. So if somebody would have done 10,000 rupees SIP since inception, he would have deposited 26 lakhs. The value of that is around 1.94 crores at a rate of 15.9% per annum. And you look at 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, very, very strong return. Today also last 1 year, this fund is the best performing fund in the market. And similarly, SBI large and mid cap fund, you can see decent return since 93, 15.9%. So point I'm trying to say is that we are talking about long-term investing, creating a corpus either for retirement or for children education planning. And we have a tool to do that. We have a product which has got the track record. It has already done it that way in the last 20 years, 30 years. And next 20, 30 years also, it should continue this trend. The way things are being managed and the way economy is poised, so we are very confident. And at SBI, I think we can also add value as a prudent partner, and we as a SBI, because SBI brand is obviously quite well known, especially in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. People have that confidence, and we have a product to show that it has done well. So I think together, if we put effort, I think conversion should be good. We should be able to add more customers and fulfill their demand and requirements.
Sir, presentation is done.
Yeah.
Sir, one
So,
very important question what you are saying. So,
right.
matlab, I think if we focus on these things like retirement specialist or children's fund specialist,
Mhm.
we can become extremely good. But to become that, what are the things we have to do, sir? Are there any courses which we should pursue और मतलब आपके हिसाब से
Uh,
हम कैसे उसमें स्पेशलिस्ट बन सकते हैं बिकॉज
uh,
आई
uh,
थिंक
uh,
रिटायरमेंट के बारे में बहुत कम लोग बात करते हैं
right.
90% of the advisors go and sell the mutual funds but nobody speaks about retirement and child benefits.
Hey, that's true. So I think, I mean, here there is no, I mean, course, for example, if you do any financial planning course, so it basically captures these things.
Hmm.
But then it is not only about numbers and concepts. It's about how you capture the attention of a customer
Hmm.
and what he gives importance to and how we connect his requirement. Then he gets convinced on this. So I think this is more of an art, and I'm sure, like with the experience of dealing with customers and the because different customer is also different. Not everybody gives same importance to all the things, you know. So I think it has to be individual based. But I'm sure, like you will also have a lot of experience of this in the past. I'm sure the way business has expanded.
No, sir, but I think still feel so. Matlab
Uh-huh.
what in this month, say of July, we corrected almost as South as my region, we almost near to 4 crores of SIP.
Mhm.
But if I see the retirement and the children's benefit fund, it's hardly 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. Matlab you understand
Uh-huh.
the
Okay.
volume? It's not even in
Mhm.
0.0001%.
Mhm.
So the corrections is not happening in the department. Maybe we have to conduct more
Okay.
and more awareness on this.
Mhm.
What we should pitch, मतलब how to pitch to the customer or how to write a script on this. ऐसा कुछ करना पड़ेगा सर तभी जाके ये हम लोग
Right,
इफेक्टिवली
right.
कर पाएंगे
Yeah. नहीं, so
बिकॉज इसका
if
अवेयरनेस
हाँ.
पार्टनर्स में ही
हम्म.
बहुत कम है क्लाइंट्स तो बहुत
हम्म.
दूर की बात है
हम्म. नहीं, तो इसमें ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग है.
हम्म
So this is a very vast subject.
हम्म
So we need more time. If you say that we have a good trainer also,
हम्म
wherein we can look at some of this finer aspect
हम्म
exactly कि what kind of client, how we should engage him, and how it should be pitched exactly. So we can have a training session on these parts separately.
guys do you
If
want to
you,
add do
uh,
you want retirement this thing please type yes if you want. You want a specialized session on how to do retirement? मतलब रिटायर कैसे होना नहीं रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग कैसे करना ओ सर
yeah.
कितना ये सारा
बाय द वे, मैं एक मैंने रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग किया था फॉर एडवाइजर्स ऑल्सो.
ओके
तो आई मीन बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इन्वेस्टर्स.
हम्म
तो एक मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ, जस्ट मिनट, आई क्विकली शेयर वन. आई थिंक मेनी ऑफ योर पार्टनर्स दे आर सेइंग यस, सो वी विल ऑर्गेनाइज दैट ऑल्सो. बट जस्ट अ
बहुत सारे
मिनट.
बोल रहे कि सर चाइल्ड एजुकेशन चाइल्ड के इसमें भी करो
हाँ.
सिर्फ रिटायरमेंट नहीं
ओके. जस्ट अ मिनट. या. तो दिस इज फॉर द पार्टनर्स.
ओके
The power of 100 clients. So if you have 100 clients, if you accumulate, so your retirement planning is done in a very luxurious way. So
अच्छा
100
हमारा रिटायरमेंट
clients,
प्लानिंग हो गया
100 clients with 25,000 SIPs each. So it is like 25 lakhs of SIP book if we create.
ओके
So in 10 years time, your income will go to 3 lakhs per month, and in 15 years it will go to 8 lakhs per month, and in 20 years 22 lakhs per month, so which will take care of the this
एडवाइजर्स
retirement
रिटायरमेंट
part.
तो सर ये तो आपने उल्टा रिटायरमेंट बता दिया हमको
नहीं, मतलब एडवाइजर के लिए तो रिटायरमेंट की बात ही नहीं है, बट यू गेट ए स्ट्रीम ऑफ इनकम
करेक्ट
which is there.
Uh,
So
I think for online investments in Fund Bazaar, there is some problem with these funds because I think
yeah.
it will be from one account. मतलब जैसे मैंने बात किया था father account से daughter के account में खरीदना पड़ता है. So there are
Hmm.
certain problems in the Fund Bazaar. I'll check with my team also and I'll check with SBI and HDFC team also and I'll get back to you, Ramesh.
Sure. Okay,
We'll
okay.
check on that. अगर नहीं है तो हम उसको fix करने का भी कुछ कोशिश करेंगे because this is one of the very vital things.
Yeah.
सर इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान और सेविंग प्लान में क्या डिफरेंस है सर चिल्ड्रंस फंड में
तो सेविंग्स प्लान जो है वो दिस इज मोर ऑफ अ डेट. तो जैसे
ओके
इन्वेस्टमेंट इज लाइक 70% equity, 30% debt, whereas that will be the other way around.
ओके 30-70
To 25% equity, 75%
तो
debt.
कैन वी स्विच बिटवीन दिस फंड्स
No, no, we can't switch. Once you invest, it will continue in that.
ओके Sir, so a lot of people are asking now out of this topic. A lot of people are asking about contra fund. Matlab, why of late it
Mhm.
is not doing so great. So you want to put some light, sir? And
Ah,
some
yes,
people have
yes.
asked about small cap
Right,
and
right.
flexi cap also.
Ah,
They're
yes, yes.
underperforming. Any corrective
And
action are you taking
yes,
and how
yes.
is it?
Yes, yes, yes. So, what has happened? Ki like in the market, there is always a phase. So there are certain phase where we see that quality stocks do well. There are phase when the value stocks do well. So what happens whenever there is a flat market or gradually growing market? Always the high quality stocks will do better. What is quality and value? So quality means those companies where the financial numbers are very strong. They are making very good profit. They are basically their business is expanding. So these companies stock price will do better when the market is either flat or it is little negative or it is marginally positive. That market condition, this quality stocks always do better. Whereas whenever there is a high growth in the economy, when the economy is growing at a higher rate, that time you will find that the quality stocks do well. So, no, sorry, quality nahi, value stock do well. Why? Because value stocks are basically those which are undervalued based on whatever profit they are generating, they are undervalued. But the market thinks that because the overall growth is good, these companies will deliver better and they do better. So we have seen, for example, post COVID, if you look at the year 23, 24, 25, this was a time when post COVID, suddenly there was a recovery in the economy. Economy started doing very good. And that time the value stocks did very well. And we got the benefit in contra fund. So if you look at contra fund from 2020 to the post COVID to till 2025, it was doing extremely good. After that, there was a slowdown in the economy. You saw that there was a earnings also came down significantly. And that was a time when the value stocks were not doing so well. It was flat. Whereas the quality stocks started doing well. So we have fund called like, for example, focused equity fund. Now, focused equity fund has not done well in 23, 24, but in 25, 26, it has done extremely good. It is there right on the top. So these kind of phases are there in the market. Every product has got a different positioning, but it does not mean that it will not perform. It is only a period of time. Now today you look at economy, what is happening? Economy is in a very, very slow growth phase as of now. But post, for example, there if there is a conflict between Iran and US, if it gets settled, and I mean, again we find the growth coming back in the economy. At that point of time, again you will see that contra fund will bounce back strongly. So my suggestion to you is that wherever contra fund may, if you have investment, your investor surely would have made very good return if he is there for last 3, 4 years, 5 years. He would have made very good return. In the interim, the return is comparatively lesser, but then it will bounce back very strongly because this fund has got 20 years track record. As I was telling you, like 1999 it started. So we have seen this kind of phases every 2, 3 years, 4 years it will do well. There will be 1 or 2 years of low performance. Again, it will bounce back very strongly. So it will come up that way. So that is the point I wanted to tell you. On the other side, I mean, as of now, focused equity is doing extremely good. We have large and mid cap or SBI large cap fund is also doing very good. All the most of the hybrid funds are doing well. We have multi-asset allocation. We have a balance advantage fund. So all these funds are there right in the first quartile. So it's only a matter of time. So there is no fundamental issue as such with the fund. That is why we keep highlighting the long-term track record. So year of underperformance is possible. Today you look at what is that thing like top 50 company performance. If you look at Nifty versus next 50, there is a big deviation. The Nifty 50 is underperforming. The next 50 is at least giving 3, 4 times of the return of Nifty. So those kind of phases will be there. Like for example, IT companies. Now, IT companies have not delivered any return, but going forward, there is a view is turning positive on some of the bigger IT companies. So those kind of bets will play out over a period of time. Yeah, this is what I thought to share.
Okay. One question has been, I don't know why it is coming. Are SBI Magnum Children's Funds and retirement funds authorized by banks to sell? I don't know why the people are asking. Do banks
Yeah,
sell these
it is
products?
authorized. Yes, yes. Banks are authorized to sell, and banks are selling also. And even for that matter, I think anybody is authorized. Isme there is no separate requirement is there for selling these funds.
Okay,
Yeah.
प्रतीक नायक ने एक बड़ा क्वेश्चन लिखा है. I don't know how we will address it in one session. What monthly activity should every MFD do consistently to build a sustainable business? That is the first question. तो
Okay.
इसका क्या आंसर दे सकते हैं सर?
So, well, the activity like say they are. I have seen that different people getting successful with different models. So there is one model which says that whichever are your clients, you first, if they are happy with your service, you are obviously giving good service. You ask him for two or three references because that becomes a very very powerful way of converting into your own client. So that's one way. But other than that, also some people have been very successful by participating in some social gathering, or to have their own investor awareness program for group of people wherein they are able to discuss certain things. So different thing works for different type of different people I have seen, because some people are not very successful in having a group meeting, but one to one may they are much more effective. So it works like that.
प्रतीक, I think
But one activity I will just thought to share. Like suppose if you have any connect with a school or something, if you take a some time slot, I mean, usme we don't have to spend much of money. We just set some snacks and all sponsored, and there is a school meeting wherein we conduct some type of program like fancy dress program. So who wants to become what? So if a child wants to become a doctor, so in a fancy dress he will wear a doctor's thing, and then obviously we can always say if you want to become a doctor, so this is what is the requirement, the financial requirement, and this is how you can be prepared.
that's a wonderful thing, sir.
Yeah,
इसको हम लोग आईआईपी में कर सकते हैं क्या?
yeah, we can do something. We can always do the school programs. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Pratik, I hope you are in the 1 crore community or 1.1 crore community, na? If yes, because I think this question has come a lot of times for a lot of people. Okay, I'll do a session on Tuesday and Wednesday. I've exclusively made this session. How should a distributor plan his entire month? I've conducted that physical session in 2, 3 places also, and it was response was very good. I'll give you 5 sheets how to make it monthly. Matlab every day on 31st or 30th of the month, you should sit, fill those 5 sheets, the 4 sheets, and you are ready for the next month. What you know what to do for the entire month, which client to call, which reference to speak to, everything you can do it in one day. I'll share it with you. I'll conduct that session on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever the time permits. I'll put it on the group. You will attend. All your queries will be solved in one shot. The entire full guide for what a partner has to do month on month daily basis. Sir, एक question है, are you planning to launch any business cycle fund like Zerodha has launched?
No, not
Life cycle, sorry, life
exactly.
cycle, हाँ.
Life cycle, no. Right now, we don't have any plan of
Well,
life cycle fund.
okay.
We are going to have another fund in the next month, which is a balance fund. So balance fund is 50% equity, 50% debt.
पहली बार बैलेंस का मतलब बैलेंस.
So this is a true to the level.
सर, इसी मंथ लॉन्च करते हमारा टारगेट भी हो जाता साथ साथ में.
अगले महीने का फिर अलग टारगेट लेंगे ना.
Okay, I think we are almost done with the questions. अभी और कोई क्वेश्चन मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है सर. Yes, I think we have already. Guys, any more questions? If not, then I think we can pull the plug. Sir, mis-selling is not allowed in any of the funds, so it's not about just retirement.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, sir. A lot of people are interested in the retirement planning. I think if possible next Saturday, whenever your retirement guy is
Yeah, yeah.
there,
Please let me know. I will conduct
we are okay, sir. We are
the
ready. You
detailed
just,
session on that.
yeah, you
Sure, sure.
just ask your guy whenever he is
ठीक
free,
है.
then we can conduct it. But
Sure,
he'll be a
sure.
retirement specialist or something
हाँ
like
हाँ,
that.
yeah. Right.
Oh, then we can go, sir. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Manoj, sir, for
Okay.
the lovely
चलिए.
presentation. Thank you,
Thank you
all
so
Prudent
much.
partners. Almost everybody is there till the end. So your session was really interesting and gripping. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.